Leadership story, Dr. Skinner. Back when I was at the University of Western Ontario, I was taking history as part of my undergrad. And one of the classes I took as an elective was psychology. And if I knew what psychology would be and how wonderful it would be, I probably would have taken that as my major instead of history. Anyway, I had Dr. Skinner as my teacher, and he stood out to me as a phenomenal leader. Dr. Skinner had a wonderful way of teaching. Not only was he brilliant, clever, compassionate, and kind, he also made it fun, which is something hard to do sometimes in university courses. They can be dry, they can feel harsh, they can feel unfeeling, they just can be difficult. Now granted, he had a subject matter that was interesting. Psychology is quite fascinating, but he did some things that made it stood out even more so. He really listened to us and allowed us to get space to answer questions, to explore our opinions and ideas. He was kind and considerate and generous with his time, and he just was a person who cared. One specific anecdote I'll share about him is that when we had exams, they were usually multiple choice. And when he got us to answer our questions, take the test, it was all done silently. When I was reading through the questions, 3 or 4 of the 50 or 100 questions, he would put in something funny, something light, something to raise our spirits, some way to connect to us as a heart-to-heart kind of connection. One example was that he said, the statement of the question, say it was question number 5, it said, sometimes the longest answer is the best answer. And then you read through the options. A was like 5 words, B was like 3 words, C was like 15 words, and D was like 4 words. So the answer was C, the longest one. And it was a give me, it was a gimme answer to make you feel joyful, to give you a certain point, to kind of build confidence in you. He also had another question that said, what does Dracula, drink? And you would see all these things, and they were all ridiculous. And then the most obvious one, of course, was blood. It was things like that that really made it feel so much more joyful. And so I looked forward to that class every single time. What amazing teachers have you had? How have they stood out? Let me know in the comments.